Oh, hey there. How's it going? Since it's 2016 again, I thought it'd be fun to do a 2016 makeup look. And if you're not sure what a 2016 makeup look, it just means bold, bright, crazy, and fun. So that's what we're doing. Where am I wearing this to? Nowhere. But that's okay. That's pretty much what I did then, anyways. I would put on my makeup, you know, do a little dance party in my room because I wasn't allowed out. Maybe roller skate sometimes. Stuff like that. So we're really gonna get into it, and we're gonna start with my fun little cow thing because my hair, since I have like pretty much grown out bangs, it really gets in my face, and that's why I had it behind my ear. My ear, I need to breathe. I need to trim it and re-dye it, but I've been lazy, so yeah. I don't even know really what I'm doing. I kind of went on Pinterest for like 5 seconds, saw something, was like, I kind of like that. Was it really anything particular? No, it was actually a drawing. I was like, I like that drawing. And it was just, I think, like red, blue, and yellow. We're using my Take Me Back to Brazil palette, which is very old. I'm one of those people that uses their palette till it's gone. I don't care if it's crusty, dusty. I'm trying to see what year this is because this is really old. Like, I got this many years ago. Okay, I'm back. I have no idea when I got this. My guess is like 2018, 16, something like that. I got this as a gift. On here it says 24 months. It's been way past that. But I will still use her because she's still good. I don't care what you say. I mean, there's a lot of them that are like emptying out. But I will still use it till it's completely gone, or unless I buy another one, which I will not because I refuse because I'm cheap. Okay? Great palette. Love this palette. If you want to buy it now, do you. But I've had this for years, and I'm going to continue to use her. I feel like I've done a lot of skincare type videos because sometimes I'm lazy and I feel like I used to do makeup all the time when I was younger, but when you're younger, you really don't have literally anything else to do but like makeup. Like, you don't really have like a lot of stuff, at least for me. Like, I didn't have work or anything, and I didn't have like a lot of crazy things that I needed to do. Like during pandemic as well, I did makeup like all the time too, just to like do something. And I'm just gonna, I have the need to feel to do something. I could clean my room, but I really don't want to. I've done it semi, but it's okay. Okay, just put a couple here, a couple there, a couple. Also, that kind of makes me think of, have y'all seen the like part 2 intermission Wicked? I did for sure go, and I did. Oh, it's actually nice out. The like sky's all blue and cloudy. It looks really nice out. Oh, I do need to get mail because I'm still waiting on my diploma. Where are you, girl? Where are you? I forgot I was going to be talking about things. I kind of got distracted. I was having a little fun. I was going to talk about kind of my life, I guess. I've been having like a lot of like somewhat anxiety about life and like what's to come. I don't know, I just finished my degree. I know I have a bachelor's and associates, obviously, because that comes before, but I have a bachelor's in studio arts and painting and drawing and like art history. I should post more like of my painting process. I haven't done another painting yet. But when I do, I'm going to try and post more about that. I'm going to try to be more consistent on this videoing stuff. When I was in school, like, I would talk to peers and stuff, be like, oh, this is what I'm working on, blah, 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 blah. But now that I don't have that anymore, I need to express it somehow so I feel like someone is singing it. That's not really what I want to talk about. I wanted to talk a lot about a lot of things, but I have been having a lot of anxiety about like life after college and feeling not very successful, even though I literally just graduated. I feel like I have a very big pressure to like make a big move and be immediately like successful or have like finances or whatever, which seems like really impossible with the times that are going, like economically, politically, everything wise, AI, all of that. There's so much going on. It's like very stressful, and it's really hard to think like positively and to think clearly on the future and like what it beholds for me and what I'm going to be doing and what I can do. So I've been thinking about that a lot and been thinking about like life in general and how I've just been very stressed on a lot of different things. I semi-recently, like before I graduated, I got a new-ish job. I'm not gonna say the name of the company just in case this gets, for some reason, popular. I don't want to lose that job because I do want money. Even though it's not a lot of money, it is a somewhat step in the right direction, because before that, all of my jobs were in food service or in, like stuff like that, customer service type stuff, retail, etc., etc. And this is the first type, like artsy type job, and that was really exciting, and I was looking forward to that. But I've had some good moments. I'm still semi-new, haven't been there too long, but I've truly met some of the, meanest people in the whole wide world, the worst customers I've ever had, ever. I don't know if it's just me, or maybe it's just because I care more now, because, I was in food service or whatever, if someone complained, I didn't really care too much, it was whatever. I was there to get a paycheck. I got minimum wage, minimum wage, because I'm in Texas area, and, the minimum wage is usually around 7 or 8, and, it was, the most I got from a minimum wage job, I think, was, around 14, but it was usually around the 8 to, maybe 10, but usually around the 8 or 9, stuff like that, range, and I didn't really care if someone didn't like me or whatever. I was like, whatever, I'm making you a sandwich, it's whatever, it's not a big deal. And I don't know if I just care more now, or I'm actually am trying to, do a good job, not that I wasn't trying. I very much was trying when I was, working. I still did a good job. I just didn't care if someone was mean to me. I was like, okay, whatever, fuck, F off, go somewhere else. I don't care. I don't get paid enough for this, I truly, did not care. And now, I don't even think I care too much about, again, if someone's, just doesn't like me for some reason. I think I care more about the people that I have just been straight up rude for God who knows reason, or, lying, basically, about my character and who I am or what I'm doing. Some of the people I've had have been absolutely rude. Of course, they've all been in a slightly nicer neighborhood and slightly lighter attitudes, I guess. I don't know if that changes anything, but those are really the only people that have been cruel to me, so call it what it is, I don't know. And, okay, so, I'll give you an example. One of the, people I basically do art teaching classes, and on the schedules, it'll say, oh, how many people you have, what size it is, what you're painting, etc., etc. Sometimes there'll be a special note, be like, oh, it's this and this person's birthday, or whatever. And I had this, I don't even remember, it was around 20 or so people as my first class of the day, so it was kind of morning, evening-ish time, and it says a certain size that's, relatively not the biggest, it's about yay big, And I guess she's come here before, but not at this location or a different location. Or maybe that location I am new. I don't know. She comes in yelling, blah, 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 blah. Like, oh, I am absolutely disappointed. I'm going to leave it terrible review. This is absolutely disgusting. I'm so disappointed. This is the same price as it was the big one the last time we had. And I was like, man, the only reason I put that size is because you requested it. If you said another size, I would have put that size. And yeah, I did come earlier to pre-sketch them because they were... It requests, like, not all of them you pre-sketch, but some of them that are more harder. Like, the clientele I usually have are people that have never, like, done anything artsy ever in their life. They're doing it as, like, a fun family thing or a fun event or a fun date, whatever. And, you know, she's over here yelling at me, maybe cussed. I'm pretty sure she cussed. Like, you effing, blah, 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 blah. Like, yelling at me. And, like, I'm, like, with 2 other coworkers. I'm like, okay, I'm very uncomfortable. I do not feel, like, great teaching this person. So I'm having to call the owner. And, like, I still have to teach them. But basically, I just changed the size, even though, like, she requested that. And that's her fault that there was an error. But she's still over here blaming me or blah, blah, blah. I don't even know. And so I was like, if you want me to pre-sketch it, it's going to take another 20-something minutes because it's not like 1 or 2 canvases. It's like 20 plus of them. She's like, no, I don't want that. Just give me them blank and we'll start. I'm like, okay, fine. And we start and I'm having to be I'm very uncomfortable. She just yelled at me in front of her family and like in front of my coworkers, and I'm having to be like, okay, class, today we're doing this and we're going to be painting the blah, blah. So I tried my best to be cool or whatever. I guess I redeemed myself or whatever because she, you know, gave me a tip. But you better have, because the way you treated me was absolutely rude. And then that's one of them. I need to really get going on this makeup or else I'm going to run out of stories. Oh, I forgot to put on my foundation. That's okay. We'll not be doing foundation. I gotta put on concealer though. I'll put a little bit on. Let me see. I can't tell if I'm still looking green from the concealer. Let's go to close up. Not really. Looks fine. I'll put some on the under eyes. Some there. That's pretty good. That was a close up. It was a close up. Wow. Whoa, hello, sun. Exposure. Tie-dye. That'd be fun. Like a rainbow tie-dye. That'd be sick. Why not? You know? Yeah, I'm just gonna do whatever. I don't even know. I'm gonna start with blue, I think. I'm starting in with this color blue. With this. Wait, which blue? That blue. Because that one's out, so I gotta use this one. I'm thinking of doing some, like, stripiness going towards, like, I'm going above my eye first. I'm going to go here. Ooh. Lavaca, or... Lavaca, moo, yeah, lavaca, moo, lavaca, moo, 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 lavaca, moo. So I had this group of, again, like, I don't even know, like a million bajillion people, like 20 plus. And this group, I guess, was like a work group from, I don't even know, like, did some kind of behavioral examiners or something like that. And straight up, like, lied. Said I was, like, I don't know, like, intoxicated, basically. They said I was intoxicated to my boss. I was like, that's not true. I was, like, very, like, stressed out and stuff, because literally the next day was my graduation, and I was, like, very much nervous and not in the best headspace. I was, like, thinking about that and not really the class. But basically, they still kind of lied. they say they're like behavioral experts and then say I'm like drunk. Like, so you're bad at your job? They said some other things, and I think the thing that was weird was in front of me, they're like laughing, joking about different things. We're doing our class. People even stayed a little bit later to like finish whatever they were doing. And I'm like here talking with them, blah, 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 blah. And then they go behind my back saying it was the worst experience ever, that they hated it, that they're traumatized or whatever. I don't even know, man. And, you know, like a whole bunch of things that just did not make any sense. Oh, there's one person that I was like, I was doing something. Oh, okay. So the background was white or something. I forgot what particularly we were painting, but the background it was white. And I was telling them to draw a shape of something, and I gave them out chalk, but different colored chalk because the background's white. So I gave them like a yellow or like a pink or something like that so they can see what they're drawing. And, you know, when I'm instructing it, I have the chalk. I'm like, okay, so you do this shape to get this. Maybe if it was a pumpkin or whatever, I'm like, okay, do an oval. And then you have to, like, really, like, slow it down because a lot of the people, like, there have never done anything like that before. Like, you have to teach them, like, a lot. And she asked me, like, oh, how come I don't get the white chalk? I was like, well, the background's white. If you use the white chalk, you won't see it. And she was like, well, I want the white. I was like, and then I reset it because I was confused. I thought she'd misunderstood. I was like, oh, well, you don't understand the background of the canvas is white. So if you use a white chalk, you won't be able to see it. And she was like, no, but I want a white chalk. And I very much had the Gen Z stare. I was like, okay, sure. I mean, you're not going to be able to see it, but sure, you can have the white chalk. And then later, you know, I'm telling them how to do something. I'm like drawing in and whatever. And then later when I pick up the chalk, I'm like, okay, let me pick up the chalk. And she was like, okay, where's that for? I was like, oh, it was for this or this or this. And so why'd she even care if it was white chalk if she wasn't even going to use it? Like, I was like, okay, why she made a whole big fuss? Like, critical thinking, please. How does one explain, like, the background of your thing is white. If you use white chalk, you won't see it. But okay. I don't know. Sometimes people are interesting, I guess. So this one was like sort of semi-recent. This person had a semi-small class. And they basically said that I was, like, very unhelpful, blah, 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 blah. Whether that's true or not, okay. She was really the only person that complained, but okay. But I don't know. Either way, that's fine. It's fine. You know, if they truly didn't have a good experience, that's okay. You know, like, I can improve. Obviously, like I said, I'm, like, new, so I'm not, like, perfect at what I'm doing. I can obviously improve on a lot of things. And there's a lot of things that I can do better. So I didn't take that too much to heart. But they did say that I, like, boasted about being, like, a graduate. That I graduated with a degree. I was like, okay, that's weird because that's not very true. During the class, they asked me a question. They said, oh, how long have you been doing this? How do you know how to paint or whatever? I was like, oh, so I haven't been working here too long, but I have, you know, I've done painting, not usually acrylic, but like oil, but I have a degree in painting and drawing, and that's pretty much it. That's literally the only time I kind of mentioned it, because they asked, and they were mad that I said I recently got a degree about painting, but they were like, they boasted. They were like, I have a degree, girl. I only said that because you asked. And I know, like, you're gonna say, oh, I boasted right now, but I'm just clarifying my experience. I'm not talking to anyone. I'm talking to the camera. There's no one here. I'm crazy. So I'm just giving you some lore. You don't know a lot about me. And that's pretty much it, like, for crazy customers recently. You know, because again, I haven't been working there too long, And I haven't had that many, but I felt like they were like back to back, and I felt like I was like targeted or whatever, and it just felt very anxious for me because I truly feel like I am trying my best to do a good job. I feel like I'm not, these people, like I said, I felt like they were lying to my face, or like saying one thing and then doing another, being like, oh yeah, we had a good time, and then behind my back was like, to my boss, like, oh, they suck, we want our money back, or we're giving a bad refund, or I mean, not refund, but review or whatever. Like, I think that's kind of fake, and it kind of sucks because, like, people suck. It makes me think that they just suck. People can be terrible, awful people, and then there can also be great and amazing and fun. But what I've experienced lately has not been fun. So, living the Vida Loca or whatever. Trying our best, I guess. No, so life has been crazy. I'm trying to, not go crazy from all the stuff that's been happening in my life. And I'm gonna try and think more things or more ways, because the job I have is pretty part-time. I don't get a lot of work. So I don't get, but even then, like, even it is, I'm not trying to sound ungrateful because I am getting money, but it still feels like not a lot, because, like, I had a, like, 13-hour shift, and at the end of it, I could see, like, oh, I got $200, and even then, I wouldn't get that in, like, I don't know, like, a week or two from then. And I was like, that's crazy, that 13 hours of my life is merely 200, and in this economy, that feels like $5. I don't know, like 200, like, really just goes out fast. Like, I feel like I can never be able to live on my own. Like, I live with my parents, which now, like, doesn't feel like, what's the word, like, okay anymore, because I'm not in college anymore. So it feels like I have to get my life together and fast. And figuring out what I'm doing. Like, my mom keeps asking, like, what am I doing with my life now? Like, oh, have I, like, just put out my resume? Oh, go ahead, put out your resume, as if it takes 50 times or whatever. I'm like, okay, it's not going to take 50 times. It's going to take, like, 100 plus. I know I was, like, employed for a little, unemployed for a little bit. It's not going to just take a couple of times. It's going to take a lot of times. So I don't know. I feel just very, like, anxious, not very motivated. I mean, when I was graduating, like, I didn't feel very motivated at my end of the semester about doing different things. I still did a lot of things, but I definitely did a lot less than some of my previous semesters, but it felt okay because I was actually kind of sort of living life. I was doing things. My kind of goal is to do more fun things for me, like, not be too grindy, because that's what America wants you to be, and that's a little toxic, I guess. I just want to have fun and, I don't know, try new things, whether it's like a food or an experience or just cooking with my boyfriend. I just want to do more fun things. So, I don't know. I'm trying to think of things that I can do or that I want to do. Whether it's expensive or not expensive. There's a lot of things that I want to do in the upcoming future. Some ideas, some projects I definitely want to start. I was just thinking of different things I can do to, like, help get more money for me in my future. The goal in the end. One of these days I do want to live abroad and, like, I don't know if I want to own a gallery. I do want to be in galleries. There's a lot of different things I could do. I don't know. I just want to, like, do art kind of full time, whether it's like more simpler, smaller arts or more like ambitious arts, what I'm kind of tend to do lately. Even though I was in painting and drawing, I lately, my past semesters, the end of my semesters were mostly sculptural. I did a lot of big sculptures that are really fun, but they can be tiresome. So, I don't know, like there's a lot of things I want to do and I just haven't figured out. Not necessarily like some of it, like takes time or takes, I don't know, a lot out of you, I guess. So I have been thinking things I like that I really want to focus on and like do better at. I'm thinking of like some ambitions or goals. I'm like getting emotional. I don't even know why. But I don't know. I really am trying to be not so scared, I guess, or not even try, I guess, because it feels, sometimes scary to try, so you don't want to fail, because then you feel like a failure, But I am, life is so complicated right now with a lot of people, and it feels really hard and really tough. And so I do feel like life has been really hard for a lot of people. It's hard for people to think of a bright future because there's a lot of things that are really scary. I'm trying to stay positive and think positively and do things that are fun for me and that bring me joy and that uplift me. But yeah, I don't even know where to go from there. Changing the topic so I don't get emotional or whatever. I'm changing the topic. I'm sorry. I got too emotional. I can't talk about it too much. I really am trying to, think positively and do good for me and, other people too. Like, I am very, like, thinking about all the things that are happening in the world and how it's not affecting me and so many people, like, it is, well, obviously it is affecting me. There's, like, general things like ICE and, like, genocide, and there's so much going on, like, there's so many, especially in Texas, like, feels every other day they're doing something to harm communities that I'm in or that I like feel for or that I have people that are in. There's so much going on that it's hard to think on the bright side or do things for yourself. Like, that sounds very selfishly, but sometimes you have to do things for yourself to like feel okay in this world. Like, yes, you can be like advocating and this and that, and I do that, and a lot of my art is like it's in my point of view, but it's usually talking about themes of like identity or like sexuality or like feelings of like different people and different communities, like more in my perspective, and stuff like that. Kind of forgot where I was going with that, but I hope you got what I meant. Like, I think you should take time sometimes for yourself and to, think, what can I do to, like, help me a little bit? Not just the others, but, like, how can I do things how can I not only help a community, but how can I help myself? How can I make things a little bit easier for me? And that's what I'm trying to do. Like, how can I do things for me? How can I do that? Like, I'm trying to focus a little bit on me and like how I can help myself, and like obviously I'm still spreading awareness and doing things like that, but how can I make living good for me. You know, I don't want to, like, be sad or whatever. Like, there's a lot to be sad about, but I'm trying to figure out what can I be happy about? What can I be hopeful about? Because there's not a lot, so I'm trying to make that for me. I'm trying to be hopeful, and I'm trying to do things that will make me feel good, make me feel like things are going to be okay. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I think my next art thing that I'm kind of thinking about is, I still have to do, like, one of the projects I was kind of working on last semester that I didn't really finish because it was just a large project and I did not anticipate how much time it was going to take. So I do still need to do that. Do even if it's something small, cook a nice meal for yourself, go on a walk. I don't know, tell people you love them and tell them how special they are to you. Enjoy a movie together. Just do things that, I know that's, like, so stereotypical and, like, easier said than done, and, like, it's sometimes so frustrating to see, like, all these people be happy or whatever. But sometimes that's so superficial. Like, of course you're gonna post on social media the things that are, like, the happiest or whatever, because that's easy. You know, it's easy. Like, I'm gonna post things that are like, oh, this is, but of course I'm not gonna always post, like, oh, I'm sad, guys, boo-hoo. Like, that's lame. I don't want people to see me sad. I don't like showing myself sad or emotional or whatever. I feel that it can be taken advantage of, because it sort of have in my life been taken advantage of. So it's easier to just, like, not show that and show that you're, like, strong or whatever. But sometimes being emotional is strong. It is very strong. I'm, like, pretty emotional with the people that I'm close to and that I care about, and I show that in those ways, but I just don't show it a lot with everyone. But yeah, it's okay to not, like, be upfront with, like, everyone. I'm not the most emotional person in front of a lot of people, but when I really, like, care about you and I, like, talk to you and I am excited about different things or whatever, I'm gonna show, like, I care. I'm gonna show that I'm emotional about, like, your life or this or that. So, I don't know. Do what you can with what you're given. Like, try your best. It's okay to be afraid, to be scared, to be hurt about things that are going on. Because, like, yeah, it's very hurtful. It sucks. Life is very frustrating right now. But do try to have fun, which is, like, I know, crazy to say because there's a lot of bad things going on. You know, one thing that I did see that I kind of like is that, okay, I was saying that, like, some of the most powerful protest is to, like, be happy or to be, like, hopeful, because they want you to, like, be angry and be upset and to, like, lash out on the other people. Of course, be angry at the billionaires, but they want you to be angry to your neighbor. They want you to lash out at them and to be unhappy and to be this and that. But a hopeful, even if it's, like, scary one, is what they don't want, because that's a fighter. Like, when you think of Anne Frank, like, yeah, she was scared, but she was also very hopeful, very like, kind and innocent. And there are some ways to do things for yourself, like, you know, like, Anne Frank really just, like, poured out her heart on a diary, and, like, but that's still very, like, very much well known now. Like, yes, Harry Tubman actually like physically brought physical people, but there are different ways of protest. There's different ways of showing like strength, and people forget that because they think, oh, rah, 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 you have to be up and rah, rah, and yeah, that is one way, but that's not always feasible. I'm not always gonna be able to like do that. Sometimes I have to be strengthful for myself as much as I am for everything that I care for. So sometimes I have to be there for myself and I have to be strengthful for myself. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know like how y'all are doing, what y'all are doing as like I guess like a more calm, silent protest, or things that you are doing to make you not go crazy, I guess. Whether it's reading a book or going on brunch with your friends, things that feel like big but are not necessarily big. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a particular thing that I do feel big for me. I think simply like the last semester and currently I've been kind of, now that the new year, I've been like meh, because you know, I don't even know. The beginning of the new year is always like kind of like different for everyone. But I simply just go out and do things, even if it's free things, like go to the park or have a meal with my boyfriend and just enjoying time with that. I think that feels very powerful. Because I love my boyfriend. He's amazing. It was like my first New Year's with him because last year when we were kind of first starting our relationship, we had a long distance and now we're kind of medium distance because we're still like an hour or so apart, but literally he was in a whole different state. But yeah, we were long distance for like 4 months in the beginning of our relationship, so we didn't really get to spend the holidays together. This was like our first one together, and what we did, which felt special for us, is we kind of just went to a park and we watched some fireworks. You know, we had some like punch or whatever, just kind of hang out together. And I don't know, we saw some, because there's still some Christmas stuff up, so we saw some Christmas lights and got to see the New Year's together, and we danced around a Christmas tree, and you know, we just walked, and I think we had a really good time. We got to just be together. I think that's really special, and it felt really good to do that. Doing even something small like that, if it means the world to you, to just, you know, really try and do that. Because it's not like spending the park with my boyfriend is like cost money. I'm just living and having free will and just doing things that bring me joy or bring me abundance, if you will. So, yeah. This is the final look. Thank you for coming along.